What is happening, guys? It's Monster Chappie. We're back for part 2 of building an offensive scheme. And in the first episode, we pretty much talked about the run game and all about the run game. And the reason we talked about the run game is because pretty much the run game is going to be the base of any scheme in Madden 25 for anybody at any level. If you want to be successful, you're going to build your game around the run. It doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be a run-first offense, but even if you are a pass-first offense, you're going to have a really good run play as a backbone to your offense and make your opponent respect it. Because, you know, if you let somebody sit in max coverage or send heaters at you all day long and you're not running the ball, you're pretty much going to lose a lot of your games. Because even if you have a nice passing offense over the course of the game, you're probably going to throw a pick. You're going to get sacked. There's going to be something crazy that happens, a block shed, or their coverage is just, you know, it's basically just going to allow them to just commit to the pass game. So you got to have that run in there for sure, for sure. Now, a real quick tip I got for you guys is practicing on All Madden and All Pro. If you practice on All Madden, here's some of the benefits you're going to get. You're going to get a really quick pass rush. There's going to be a whole lot of block shed. So it'll kind of simulate a blitz with a good coverage a lot of the time. And that's the benefit there. So if you need to work on your short stuff, you need to work on beating a good coverage defense that has heat behind it, this is the route to go. A benefit you can get from practicing on All Pro is you get a little bit more time in the pocket, so you can work on those deeper routes, those deep posts, those, you know, deep corner routes, those types of routes, and kind of get a little bit more time in the pocket versus various coverages, and just kind of seeing how the coverage is going to break down after a little bit of time if you get, you know, good blocking on any given play, if they're rushing one or playing max coverage or whatever the case may be. So that's kind of the pros and minuses of some of that right there. Let's go ahead and hop back into the lab. We're in Seattle's book on offense. This is one book I've been running. I was running pretty much all year on Gen 3. Gen 4 just mixing it up with different stuff, but definitely a very solid playbook. My approach to creating a scheme in Madden 25 is a lot different than I used to in the past. In the past, I really would have started with the pass first, obviously, because, you know, the past years have been passing first games, and finding your passing routes, your money plays, and then getting maybe a decent run or a screenplay or something like that to complement it. This year, you start with the run and build around that, to me, and then you get your good pass plays to complement that. So the next play that I like to look at is usually going to be a screen or a bubble screen. And it may sound crazy. Why the heck would you want a screen or a bubble screen as your next kind of key to your offense? And it really does sound strange, and it's definitely unorthodox for me, especially. You know, even I find it strange that this year I kind of build the screen as the next play after the run. But I'll explain to you why here right now. I'm actually going to get a second control going on offense in a second here. But what the bubble screen is so beautiful this year, and the screenplay, and you can get the screens to work various ways on Gen 3, but on Gen 4, you pretty much have to run the screen as is. I'll show you what happens if you try to run the delay screen. You're not going to be successful, just very often. A lot of times you're going to get sacked before, and a lot of times, especially if they blitz, what's going to end up happening is he won't release, and it's just not fast enough. So the delay screen, if you're on Gen 4, is dead. Don't mess with that no more. But the reason I like the screen as the next play is because we're building our offense off the run. You know, play action is something that's always been risky in Madden. You're probably going to throw, you're probably going to get sacked a lot of the times if you're playing a good person. A good defender, good defensive player that can, you know, make adjustments and stuff. Because if they're trying to stop the run, they're probably going to be sending heat or a lot of guys, and there's going to be a lot of guys in the box, going to be stacked up. So there's going to be a lot of guys in that area. So what ends up happening is if you can hit them with a screen, you're going to get really big plays because there are going to be so many defenders committed to stopping the run. Now, the one thing you do got to watch out for is obviously the user defender, because one of the best ways to stop the run is to actually stop the run and kind of just jam up the holes, come up and make a play with the safety, things like that. And if you can actually just sneak in the screenplay, if they don't expect it, you're going to be gold and you're going to get really big gains there. and really get some real nice plays and just, kind of break down the defense really quickly. And on Gen 4, I like to run the screens as is. Obviously, you can make your hot routes, to the other receivers to put them in good position to be successful. But the main idea here is that once they start really committing to that run, really selling out to stop that run, you mix in a good screenplay and just get a 5-yard, 10-yard, maybe even a big play, one play touchdown type play, you're going to be good to go. And, it's just a really quick pass, and it'll keep them honest and keep them from committing completely to stopping your run. And once that happens, you're pretty much going to have them picking between stopping the screen and stopping the run. And that's always a good position to have your opponent in, because that's basically going to allow you to have a very open field either way. And then you'll start to see what types of defensive formations they use to stop the screen, and which type of formations or setups they use to stop the run. And then once you got that down, it's pretty much just pick the poison. You let them know, I'm going to run the ball, you can't stop it. All right, now you're starting to stop it. Man, I'm going to mix in a quick screen with that run attack, and then just really get some really nice yards. So definitely mix in those screens. Now, the bubble screen has been very popular this year as well. And the bubble screen is really nice because you pretty much know right away if it's going to work or if it's not going to work. For instance, this time I would not run the bubble screen. I would instead run the regular screen or run the ball. Reason being is because there's a defender over the bubble receiver, there's another defender to the outside, and there's another defender to the outside. So the best times that the bubble screens are going to work are going to be if you're playing the type of person who base aligns all the time. So I'm going to get this second control going here, just to show you what I'm talking about when people base align, or if they run a scheme where they're running like a 4-4 or a 4-6 bear, or one of those types of formations where it's a lot of guys stacked up in the box because they're trying to stop that ground attack. And then that bubble screen is just going to be very, very effective when that does happen. And we'll go ahead and give you guys some examples of that now. Now, one of the formations that's really popular this year, and for one of the reasons is because of the bubble screen, is the gun trio offset, or the pistol trips. These types of formations where there's a trip wide receiver set, a tight end on the other side, and then you have the halfback either behind the QB or next to him in a shotgun formation or whatever the case may be. But you have a run play, you have a wide receiver, halfback slip screen, and a bubble screen. And I'll show you these bubble screens now against various types of defenses. So let's just say they run a 4-3 and they baseline, 4-3 stack baseline. Right away, we know this play is going to work because there's no defenders on the left side. There's two defenders. Even if the linebacker comes over, he's still not going to be able to make a play, even if he's in a flat. And I'll showcase that here. Now, you're not going to get crazy gains on the bubble screens unless they really overcommit and just kind of just really stack up the box. But even if they put this guy in a flat here, as you'll see, put him in this bubble screen, you're still going to get like 5 yards. Always avoid those big hits. So, if you're going to get crushed by Patrick Willis or Bowman or, whoever, Wagner, make sure you do slide. But the thing about the bubble screens is right away. If there's not 3 defenders out there, you're pretty much guaranteed like 5 yards, sometimes more than that. What you'll see is a lot of times, guys, sometimes you can put them in a flat. I don't like the flat as much. It doesn't give you as good results to me personally. What I like to do when I run my screens is just let the computer catch it and then take it upfield after the fact. But as you can see there, without the baseline, there's a defender out there, and he's able to make a play on the ball. However, when the defender's not out there, you can really just get it out there quickly and turn it upfield, get 5 yards usually on average. Now, what if they're in this type of play where they're stopping the run now and they have a guy lined up over the the wide receivers out there? That's when you're going to want to go to the slip screen. So typically, if I'm going to run like the pistol trips, you got your main base play, which is run play, and then I'm going to run the bubble screen as my base screen, and I'm going to run the halfback slip screen as my my mix-in screen. So basically, between the two, the bubble screen and the slip screen, we go back to this example. I'm going to run the slip screen in this scenario. As soon as they base align, now I'm going to run the bubble screen. So it just really depends upon the alignment of the defense, which screen you're going to want to run. And that's why it's nice to have both available to you. And that's another reason why this formation is real popular. But you just really pick on wherever the weakness is of the defense. So here I had set this up here. Did a really bad job of following my blocks that time. But if you just really look at which side of the defense has less defenders, because the beautiful thing about in this year's Madden is the wide receivers block just as good as linemen. So, you're not scared to run towards the wide receivers and have them block linebackers or safeties or whoever, or even a lineman, Very comfortable having a wide receiver pick up a lineman, and you're going to be good to go either way. So with that being said, you can run left or right with equal strength. You're not going to just get crazy better results running right versus left because you have linemen and tight ends versus wide receivers. Wide receivers block just as effectively, which is what makes it so tough for defenses to stop the run. So now that they have to focus on stopping the run left and right out of a formation like a trips here, now we have a bubble screen. So if they overload to the right, we got a bubble screen to the left, and we can run to the left. If they overload left, we have a slip screen to the right, and we can run to the right. Both options available. So if they have a play that just stops the run in general, well, they got to stop the screen too. If they have a play that stops both screens, they still got to stop the run. And that's why I like really having a bubble screen and a slip screen out of the same play. Another option with that, depending upon which formation you run out of, let's say you run out of the doubles on formation, is a makeshift screen. And makeshift screens were real popular last year. For example, FL screen here. Go ahead and set this up with a, let's go with a nickel Overstorm Brave here, just for example. Go ahead and put this guy Garcon on the streak and Morris on a flat. And, the makeshift screen, it's a very, very quick screen, and it's basically our bubble screen of this formation. So this is going to be our base screen, and we still have the slip screen. Now, one thing I prefer about the bubble screen and the slip screen combo is that the slip screen goes to the right and the bubble screen goes to the left most of the time, or vice versa. But with the makeshift screen and the halfback slip screen, a lot of the times they go to the same side. But if this formation, for instance, had Morris lined up on the left, then his slip screen would go left, and then you can make the makeshift screen go right probably, just depending upon which formation. So which plays you're going to run is just going to depend upon which formation you're running your scheme out of. What's your base formation or whatever that may be. What's going to get you the best results is going to be trying to have two. You don't necessarily have to have two. If you only have the bubble screen, that's fine. If you only have a makeshift screen, that's fine. And if you only got a slip screen, that's fine. Just make sure it's effective out of that formation. Certain formations, the slip screen will be more effective. Certain formations, the bubble. Certain formations, the makeshift. It really just kind of depends upon which formation. And you want to mess with the hot routes. You want to make sure you try out the halfback on a wheel. Try them out on a flat. Try out the bubble with and without a motion. Try out, the run plays with and without a motion. Try out, the slip screen with different routes from different wide receivers and stuff like that. Maybe the streak isn't the best option. Maybe you want to go with a slant instead. It just really depends, and you want to just give yourself as many options on any play as possible. But mixing in these screens with a very solid run attack, you're already going to have a pretty tough offense to stop. And then the next level to get your offense to the next, to that elite level is going to be to get some really good passing plays out of these formations as well. So hopefully this part 2 helped you guys out, and it's something that's going to, help build your offense again and improve it even more so upon what it already is at. But again, make sure you get those runs and make sure you get try out these screen plays, man. I really feel like they can help your offense and help get it to that next level and just make you a real tough scheme to stop, because they're going to have to worry about so much that's real quick developing and real short. It's either going to be a run, which is instant, or it's going to be a screen, which only takes about a second or a half second. The bubble screens are instant. Makeshift screens are about a half second or so. And then the regular screens are about a second and a half. So even if they're blitzing heavy, you're going to be able to get those screen passes off without any issues. You're going to be good to go. And that's one of the reasons you've seen the trips that are so trip formations that are so popular this year, is because of the fact that you have good runs, you have two good screens out of it. Likewise with a few other good formations out there. So that's gonna wrap it up though. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And, be sure to leave the comments below your thoughts. And we'll be getting into the money passing plays in the next video. And until the next time, guys, we gone.